Hello and welcome back to the weekly Wolverine. This week we have a very special project for you. Today I'm here with,
I'm Becky Partain. I am the instructor, sponsor, whatever you want to call me, of the leadership class and club.
and the leadership class is new to Vian this year. It's its first year. Will you tell us a bit about it?
Absolutely. And you guys have been through the trial and error of it all. We're here to learn. First of all, we want to have a good time. We help you develop as a leader through project management, of course, this podcast and other activities as well. We try to keep it as real world as possible and give you opportunities to grow as a leader and prepare you for the next steps.
And what do you expect from students who take your class?
Well, I try to run this class like a college course or like a business. So if you have an assignment or something that you're supposed to be doing, you're responsible for, expect you to come in with a good attitude, ready to learn and to take care of your business. A leadership mindset, basically. I mean, you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay, but just come prepared, good attitude, ready to get things done.
And this is, as I said, one of the very special projects for the leadership class this year. We tell us a bit about what this video entails.
Absolutely. So, we are trying to do new things like this class, and we wanted to share with our freshmen and incoming students about what they can expect from electives. So we started, it's kind of been kind of crazy, as you know, trying to get coaches, teachers, everyone that has an elective together to share a little bit about what students can expect from their class or from their elective. And so this is kind of a culmination. Everyone has pitched in. We've taken turns being the leader, the producer, the talent on screen, and setting these interviews up so that students can have a sneak peek of what they can expect when they come into school.
So, what do you teach here at Ryan?
I teach Cherokee 1 and 2 to the high school, and I teach Cherokee to middle school and the elementary.
What do you expect your students to learn?
Well, just like I'm saying, they won't be fluent, but I do expect them to participate. I expect them to listen to the language because that's really the way you can learn language is to listen. And so I expect them to be able to participate and to go ahead and make mistakes if they need to because that's how you learn.
What do the students expect from you?
They should expect from me, hopefully, patience because it is a hard language. But they're not, like I said, I don't expect them to speak the language, but they should expect from me someone that's going to teach them their culture and their heritage and their language, if that's something that they're interested in.
What is band, or explain band?
Band is where we learn how to play instruments. That's kind of step one. And then after we learn how to play instruments, then we go perform in front of people and show them what we're learning and what we're doing and how much we're improving.
What do you expect from students?
I expect any student that's going to be in band to be willing to work hard at band, at learning their instrument, but as well as their other classes, keeping their grades up. Because if you're ineligible in other groups, you don't get to participate in band. I would say, as far as what students should expect from me, is that I'm going to try to make sure everybody works hard. I'm going to try to make sure everybody stays up on their grades. I can be really easy to get along with as long as everybody does their part. But if they don't do their part, then I can get down with discipline as well.
Hello, I'm Autumn Webb, and I am the coach for Color Guard at Vian. And in Color Guard, we perform with the band during the halftime show at football games in the fall. And we also go to marching competitions and perform with our routine. We perform to 3 different songs, and every year it'll be different. So tryouts will be the end of April this year and probably, every year. Anyone from 8th grade to 12th grade can try out. We have a packet that we have students sign that, go over expectations that we expect from students and expectations that you can, expect to get out of Color Guard and from us. We require that you come to practice. As of right now, practices are after school. You'll get a uniform. We have to do fundraisers to buy, the flags, the silks, your uniforms, your shoes. We always perform during the halftime show on Friday nights. We expect everybody to have a good attitude. We expect everybody to practice. things that you can expect from us as coaches, that we will be professional and we will always encourage. We make up the routines. Everybody, for right now, twirls with the flags and the different colored silks and stuff. So we make up the routines. We teach through routines. We stay in contact through text messages, to kind of keep everybody updated. And we'll always support you and anything that you ever need. We hope that if you're interested that you come out and try out for color guard, and it's just going to continue to grow, and it'll be a great.
Hi, I'm Chloe Kisselberg, and I am here with
Mrs. Harriman.
and she is here to talk about choir.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Harriman, and I teach the competitive high school choir. I also teach middle school choir. I expect my students in my organization to be able to compete. Competition is very important in high school choir. We go to all-state, district contests, all of the OSSAA functions. We also go to camp in the summer to prepare for a lot of these competitions. So essentially, Chloe, we go to contests year-round. So choir contests are a year-round competition, so it goes all year. In choir, we spend a lot of time together. We go a lot of trips and compete in things. And so in choir, I expect the kids to work hard and be disciplined and be very competitive. I want kids that want to work hard and want to win. This last couple of years, we've won at state.
Yes.
We've had 7 kids make all-state in the last 3 years, so that's a huge accomplishment. A lot of smaller schools don't always have many kids that make all-state, so for us to have had 7 in the last 3 years is a really huge accomplishment. But a lot of that comes back to the kids and their hard work and diligence.
How long did y'all actually spend in the classrooms just like practicing, going over songs, just, getting comfortable with the music that y'all were actually singing for the competition?
For all-state or for like the group contest?
All state, actually.
All-state. In all-state, we go to camp in June. Students spend a lot of time after school, during class, at home, practicing to master this music because they're essentially competing against everyone across the state of Oklahoma. As students, they can expect in my class, I try to select a variety of music for students to experience, from spirituals to pop music to some jazz. We do a variety of things. At the Christmas concert, we did Silent Night in German. So we do a variety of things. It's very inclusive and there's a variety of diversity there.
I am Stacy Hume. I'm the yearbook advisor, and in yearbook class we start from scratch and we create an entire book between August and our deadline is usually in March. So you can expect to be assigned pages, be assigned sports organizations. You'll need to be able to create your page, spell words correctly, identify students by their correct name. From me, you can expect help along the way, encouragement, and maybe a little push towards getting that deadline completed.
Explain what you do in art class.
I teach high school art 9th through 12th grade, and we do a variety of projects. We paint on canvas. We do several clay projects, air dry clay.
What do you expect from students?
I expect students to come in with a positive attitude. Whether they're artistic or not, they can come in and work at their own pace. They learn from year to year techniques to help them get better. But most of all, I just expect them to come in and have fun, and this is a class that they can just relax and be creative.
What should students expect from you?
Students should expect that when they come in, that I will help them with their projects. Whether, like I said, whether they're artistic or not, I will help them with their projects if they need.
Hi, my name is Ms. Schubert, and I teach family and consumer science classes here at Vian High School. So the classes you'll take with me are Facts Basics will be your first one. And Facts Basics has a cooking section, it has a human development section, it has some little touch on relationships, and then we end the year with sewing, and you'll learn how to hand sew and machine sew. The next class I teach is Teach Oklahoma. That class is reserved for juniors or seniors. And if you're interested in teaching or even think you may be interested in teaching, you'll want to take that class, and you get to learn about some different styles of teaching, and then you get to intern at the elementary or middle school if you choose with a teacher for the spring semester. I teach another class called Career Orientation, and in Career Orientation we talk about everything really starting with like soft skills. So soft skills are going to be what you learn and how to handle like the public or handle clients or customers, and then we move on to different kinds of careers, and we in the spring we do the stock market game and learn about stock market and finances. Another class I teach is the Lifetime Nutrition. In that class we cook all year. You are supposed to have Facts Basics first before you can move on to Lifetime Nutrition. So that class tends to be full more of upperclassmen, because of the fact that you have to have the Facts Basics first before you can join a class where we cook all year. The next class is Human Development, and I love Human Development, but also that class is a little bit juniors and seniors because we talk about delicate subjects, sometimes where younger classmen maybe aren't quite ready for, but I think we have a good time in there, and we learn a lot, and you learn about babies and birth of babies and everything like that.
What do you expect from the students?
What I expect from the students is them to be punctual. When they're in my classroom, actually be in my class. And what I mean by that is minimize any type of outside distractions and pay attention. Participate in the work that we're doing. Be open to learn something new. I want you to feel like that this is a fun, because it's an elective, so it is a fun class, but also that you're learning something in this class. So I just expect you to try and to want to be there and give it your effort every day. Like, give it the best that you can every day.
Hi, I'm Chastity Blackbird. I'm the president of the Viant FCCLA chapter. FCCLA stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. FCCLA is a student-led organization where we get to show off our skills not only in the classroom but in competitive events. In FCCLA, we learn leadership, group work skills, and most importantly, communication. We get to speak into large crowds if we want to. We can compete in STAR events, which is what my favorite thing is. And we also get to help the community. We do community service projects. We take things to the nursing home here in town. And we also do fundraisers throughout the school year.
My name is Charlotte Trotter, and I teach agriculture education. I currently teach 5 different subjects. I have plant and soil science. I also teach animal science, agricultural communications, natural resources, and environmental science. And I also teach a middle school class of 8th grade ag explorations. So that's a really fun class where you get exposed to all of the different aspects that you can learn in the ag program. I also have a really fun part of my job. Half of it is doing career development events. So that's really fun because the students get to use the skills they are learning from all of our other excellent teachers here at Vian, and they get to put those to use in contests, doing things like an AgCom communications quiz and doing some different judging lessons and things over like business cards, photos, graphic designs. And they learn a lot of stuff about press releases and how to communicate agricultural topics to the community. Another fun part that I have is doing all of the prepared public speaking contests. So we have a team that goes around to different jackpots and they prepare speeches. It's really fun because they use all of the things that they're learning from their English classes, and they do a lot of research. Some of them go out into the community and do interviews with business professionals to help them get ideas to write and memorize a speech. They also use a lot of skills like learning to cite sources and find reliable information. So it's really a fun program. We have a lot of fun stuff to do with the actual FFA side. Right now what I'm doing is planning a donkey basketball game. So there's a lot of fun activities that we add in for the students to take part in So if there's not something that you can find that you're interested in, you're probably not looking very hard, because we have a lot of things to offer over here in the Ag building. Students, when you come to Ag, what we really expect from you is just to be teachable and to want to learn. And sometimes that means stepping outside of your box and trying something that you've never tried before. You know, I have all kinds of different students from different backgrounds. Some of them love the farm and things like that. Some of them don't. Some of them may live in town and they're more interested in, you know, digital technology. Or I have a lot of students who are athletes and they just like to come over to learn about agriculture. Some of them actually compete on some of the teams. So there's a lot to offer over here. I just hope that everybody would try to step out of their box a little bit and try it.
My name is Mr. Trotter, and I'm one of the 2 ag teachers here at Vian. Just a little bit about our program. I currently teach 2 classes of ag mechanics, which includes welding and work in the shop. Students learn how to weld, cut, and build various projects. I also teach a Ag 1, which is for freshman or first year ag students. And we'd like to recruit anybody we could to come over here and be in the ag program. You do have to know that before you can take a shop class or any other ag classes, Ag 1 is a prerequisite, so you need to take that class first. We also have the option, after you take Ag 1, you can be enrolled in any other ag classes. We have Ag Communications class where you can earn an ARC credit. So if you like to be in ag, you get an ARC credit by taking the Ag Communications class. Some of the things we do other than classroom work, we have various judging teams. We have a sporting clays team where we shoot in the fall and compete. We also have land judging teams, home site evaluation teams, soil and water management or farm survey teams that we go and compete throughout the spring and then on the state contests. And I guess that's one of the things we've been known for in the past few years. I think we've had 11 state champion judging teams, 1 national champion judging team, and 3 national runner-ups. The main requirement to be in our ag class is we expect young people to know how to act, be respectful of others, be respectful of their teachers. And I believe once students figure that out and they learn what's expected of them over here, then that's when the fun begins.
I'm Coach McCoy, and I teach Computer Apps 1. And one of the things that you can expect coming into my classroom is that we work with the Google Apps. Right at the beginning of the year, we kind of focus more on the Google Docs, but then we kind of work our way through the Google Sheets, the slides, and some of the things that I expect from you as a student is that you turn in your assignments. Everything we do is web-based, so that means that even if you miss school, you can still access the work through Google Classroom.
Tell us about the Computer Apps 2 class.
Well, Computer Apps 2, just like the name says, is a computer applications class. So we spend the first part of the semester, the first part of the year, talking about how the internet works, some like different parts of a computer, things like that, digital footprint, digital security. I spent more on that this year than I normally do. Then I go into Excel. We do a unit on Excel, and we do a unit on Word, and we end with a unit on PowerPoint. And with each of those are Microsoft. With each of those, we discuss the Google equivalent. So with Excel, we also talk about Google Sheets, and we compare it, and we do some work in Google Sheets. Same thing with Word. We talk about docs, and then with PowerPoint, we talk about slides.
What do you expect from students?
It's just like any other class. I just expect students to be on time and to be ready to work. One thing about a computer apps class, we work on desktops in here. Students could work on Chromebooks, so they really have to stay focused on their work, because it's hard to get work done outside of the class unless the kids, have a Chromebook or a laptop or something at home and internet access. And so I just expect them to work hard.
What should students expect from you?
They should just expect me to provide the projects for them to do and the guidance to get them through the projects. We just culminated our Excel unit with doing what I call the POP project. I have them look over a semester of my drink sales
because I'm in charge of the pop machines, and they have to create an Excel spreadsheet as if I am their customer, because I want to know, what profit I'm making, what are my best sellers. And so I divide them into groups, and they each have to design a spreadsheet, and I give them what's called a requirements document. So with all of the assignments, I just tell them what the expectations are, and then I go over what they have done, and I try to give them some feedback. Like with that last project I was talking about, we've graded it, they did well, but now they have some corrections to make.
Well, I've got a flyer that I'm going to be printing out, but it's not necessarily coding. It's all essentially the computer science stuff. We'll do everything from, they call it Python, so we'll use that coding system. And also we're going to learn about like AI awareness and cybersecurity. And what I want to do is, like, every Monday have a social media day where all of our kids are put into a section. Like one section will do the FCA Facebook, and then one section will do the basketball Facebook, and essentially at least get one post a week, working on that throughout the year, and keeping all of our Facebooks updated, because I know some of them are not always updated. So I think that the AI will be cool, but I'm also learning as well too. So these kids will probably have to be teaching me stuff. Just to broaden their horizons. I mean, Vian's never offered a computer science like this, and so I think that we'll get some interest from kids that can use their abilities that they have, that they might not have been able to use before. FCA is Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It is just a student-based ministry within the school district. I actually talked to the kids yesterday and told them we're very lucky to be able to be in a district that allows us to do this, because I think that gives us a leg up on everybody else, in my opinion, as far as this goes. Some school districts don't, especially out west, don't allow for that to happen, especially in a school setting during school hours. Students can, again, kind of broaden their horizon and see, just be able to talk about faith, and some place where maybe they haven't ever thought of talking about faith before. So the first big activity we did, we went to OU FCA game day, and we got to watch OU and UCF play, and that was good for the kids, because there's not a whole lot of people that, a whole lot of kids that get to get out and do stuff like that, and not necessarily just go to Norman, but just get out of the town of Vian. And so I think that was really good. And then they had a FCA rally that was held, and we did worship and had a little devotional from Alyssa Brito and Riley Boone, who are OU's main softball players right now. And so we got to listen to some awesome young ladies that the kids can turn on TV and see pretty much every day.
Tell us about the book club.
Book club, we're on our second book for the school year. Anyone who wants to join can, and so far I've been letting the students choose the books from our multiple copy books. So the first semester we read Divergent, and I had roughly 10 students. I had more sign up, but I would say we had regularly 10 come, and they really enjoyed that. And now we're reading The Help by Catherine Stockett, and they're not as enthusiastic about that, but the book club is still thriving. So we're about halfway through that. So we meet, we talk about what we read that week. We're supposed to read the same passage, and we have snacks and we discuss it. And then with Divergent and The Help, if there's a movie, then we meet after school, and when we're finished with the book, we watch the movie, have pizza. That's a lot of fun.
What do you expect from students?
Well, it is totally voluntary, so I expect them to read the passage that's assigned for that week. Of course, I understand that sometimes they can't get their reading done. I expect them to attend. Again, it's all voluntary, so if you miss a week, it's no big deal. And it's nice if the students will engage in discussion. Now, we usually have enough talkers. Of course, I love to talk, and I always have a few that like to talk, so we usually don't have any lulls in the conversation. But I do like students to just tell me what they liked about what they read and just discuss what happened in that week's reading.
What should students expect from you?
Well, I'm just a facilitator, so I do try to come in with a couple of questions. I usually take some notes over what I read, so they should expect me to have read the passage, of course, and to make some comments and ask some questions that'll get the conversation going. And they can expect me to provide snacks, because I've been doing a good job of that.
Hello, I'm here with Miss Tracy. This time she is here as the junior class sponsor. There's 2 per grade, 8 overall, and they deal with the class officers, and she'll be here to talk about that a bit.
We move up with the grades. This year my kids are juniors. I have a really good group of kids this year. I have in my classes every year, I have 5 officers, so that way if we're voting on anything, we'll have 1 person that can break a tie. Some classes only have 4 class officers, but I feel like that tiebreaker really makes a big difference. I prefer when my officers, again, I want them to be highly involved in school, not just with class officers, because when you're more involved with school, you know more about what the kids want. They help with fundraisers. My kids this year have actually come up with some fundraisers on their own, and we've done the Valentine's candygrams and things like that. I prefer officers every year. I have a really great group this year to have good grades. I prefer them to be well behaved, but I don't want officers that are going to be troublemakers or cause any sort of unsettling anything with the other officers. I want them all to agree, and when they don't, we do have 1 tiebreaker, and most of the time that's the president.
So what is the process like with you to become a class officer?
Okay, so we do it a little different. I don't think any of the other classes do it that way. At the very beginning of school, when all the classes have their class meetings, we don't just nominate and raise hands there. We nominate, kids can nominate themselves, but we have forms for them to fill out, and they have to agree to certain conditions. If they get in trouble at school, then they need to not be a class officer. We want our class officers to be leaders. And then we also have their parent or guardian sign them as well, just so they can take it a little more seriously. Like, teenagers would be willing to sign a lot of things, but when you have their parents sign them too, I feel like they take it more seriously, and they want to be, these are the leaders of the junior class, so we want them to be leaders. Then I do a ballot, and I'll send it out. Sometimes it's on paper, but I always send it out on Google Classroom for whatever class. Like right now, I have the class of 2025. And so I send it out on the Google Classroom for the class of 2025. And so everybody in the class has the opportunity to vote, whether they do it on paper ballot in my classroom or they could do it on Google Classroom. And then I can have a record of, oh, well, this person won by so many votes because I have evidence. It's not just raising hands and, oh, I voted for so-and-so, so-and-so, you know. I just feel like it's a little easier to do it that way.
Mm-hmm. And there's 2 per grade. How's that work? Is 1 person lead, 1 person kind of just helps when they can, or is it more equivalent? How's it work?
Not with me. I'm lucky. Mrs. Rice is the other sponsor, and I'm really lucky because she has experience doing other things, and I have experience doing other things, so we work well together. And she takes on about half, and I take on about half.
Before we end off, is there anything else you want to say about class officer?
I have a president, a vice president, a reporter, a secretary, and a treasurer. Those are my 5 offices, I suppose. I'm really proud of all of my officers. I do want them to be leaders, and I think the officers I have this year will be successful adults.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Teresa Stewart, and I am sponsor of Vian High School Student Council. Student Council here at Vian are in charge of several different things. We host fall and spring a blood drive, and we get students signed up, and we have runners, and we manage the blood drive, and that's usually very successful, and we're proud to be able to do that. We also organize Spirit Week during homecoming. We have meeting, we vote, and we determine what the dress-up days are going to be for Spirit Week. We sponsor student assemblies from time to time. In the past, we have done Stand for the Silent. We invited them in, and they held a student assembly that was against bullying, and that was a very effective assembly. Students were just mesmerized by what Mr. Smalley had to say. We also in the past have sponsored and hosted assembly on anti-texting and driving and bringing important information to students on that topic. We just work all around to make positive changes in our school environment. What do student council members have to be like? What do I expect of those students? First of all, they have to maintain their GPA and be a student of high academic integrity. I expect them to be positive role models at all times at school and other places as well. They need to have a good attendance record, attend the meetings, and just be mindful of anything that they could do to help promote a positive environment for Vian High School.
Essentially, anytime you're playing in a tournament, any sort of structured environment in video games for a competitive reason, that is esports. Here, in our program, we primarily play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and each week, Wednesdays in this particular case, we set up a match with our opponents who are assigned to us by the league. We set up the match, talk to them, get connected to a private arena, and from there we do best of 5 sets. Each set being best of 3 for each individual player. Teams are 3 players. It's really quite simple. Esports is everywhere nowadays, of course, so it's not that difficult. And what I expect from students is for them to be on time each day, to bring a healthy and competitive attitude and a respectful attitude. Be kind to your fellow players, be kind to the equipment you're using, and be kind to your opponents when match day comes up. So don't flame in-game, don't taunt excessively, the basic stuff. Don't play like it's casual. As far as what students, you, should expect, it's generally for me to be there taking an active role in coaching you, teaching you the basics, especially if you haven't played much or at all before. As you get more experienced, as my other players have got more experienced, I've become more hands-off and let the older, more experienced players teach the younger ones. But there is a point where you have to take your own destiny to your own hands.
Hello, I'm Captain Robert Allen. I'm one of the coaches for the Vian mountain bike team. Also one of the coaches for the Vian NACA team, which is the National Interscholastic Cycling Association. In the Vian Mountain Bike Club, you can expect to come out and hit the trails with us. I think we average about 2 to 4 miles per practice. Everybody that's came out is loving it. It's available from 6th grade up to 12th grade, and it's really fun. Everybody's enjoying it. I expect the students to come out and have fun and just be as courteous to the others as we expect them to be to you. When you're out there racing for NACA, you'll find that every team cheers on everybody. It doesn't matter what team you're on. You could be Fayetteville, Russellville, and they're all cheering for the same thing. We are the second school in Oklahoma to race under NACA, and since Oklahoma doesn't have a NACA league, we're racing in Arkansas under their league. As a student in the club, you can expect to come out and have fun. You can take 20 minutes to finish it, or you can take 5 minutes. Just as long as you're out there having fun, that's all we expect.
I'm back with Miss Harrell. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Memory Harrell. I am the high school counselor at Vian, and welcome to the high school. I understand this will be your first introduction to what takes place at the high school. There's lots of things that happen and go on all the time, every day, all year long.
And as a high school counselor, you're in charge of the schedules and the electives. So would you please maybe tell a bit about how does that system work with you?
When we hand out pre-scheduling for the next year, we hand out a form and we talk to the students about the required classes. Of course, that's the math, science, English, anything having to do with graduation requirements. Those are required things. Anything after that is considered elective classes, and those are classes that students get to select. And we usually ask them to pick 2 or 3 more than what their actual schedule allows. That in case if a class is already full or closed, or they don't meet those requirements to be in that class, then we have other classes that we can pick from to put in those slots to make up the 7 class periods for the day.
I'm sure some classes have prerequisites.
Yes, we do have some classes that have prerequisites. In the elective area, that is ag, intro to ag science. All students that are going to be in the ag program have to have that class first before they can move on to the other opportunities that are offered in ag. The same thing with going into chemistry. You have to have chemistry first before you can have AP chemistry. And of course, we do try to do an order of math classes so that students are building a good foundation and don't get in over their head before they're ready for the next level, such as Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, in those orders, just to be ready for the next class.
And is there anything else you would like to say to incoming students about electives before we go off?
Electives are meant to be to introduce you to a variety of things that you might experience in high school and in your future. And that's an introduction to maybe that's something you would like to pursue, an area of interest outside of high school or your future education or career. And always remember, attitude and effort get you the most opportunities.
Well, I think that's all I have for today. Thank you for coming, Ms. Harrell.
Thank you.
So, Coach Willis, as our athletic director, what do you expect from student athletes?
Vian has a long history, tradition of being successful in athletics. We want them to recognize the people that have came and built that tradition and to carry that on through their work ethic and commitment and how they support and represent the school and community.
You teach 2 sports this year, football and track. We are going to start with football. What do you expect from your students?
We expect from our football players to make the sacrifice. It's a lot of time and commitment, and football is a very big thing in Vian. Plan on winning a district championship and a state championship every year. Some years that's more realistic than others, but that's our goals right there, to play for a gold ball every year.
What should your students expect from your coaching and playing the sport?
Football is a loud, physical sport, and sometimes we coach it the same way. It's intense, and they need to realize that, to play football at Vian, we're ready to get after it, and we coach that way. Now, we're going to grab those kids and let them know we love them. Same times they're going to get coached up, and they're going to work hard.
Now on to track. What do you expect from your students?
Same as all Vian athletes, come out with a great attitude, work ethic that's going to represent themselves, the school, and the community. Track is a little different, it is a team sport, but it's such an individualized thing. We have a lot of kids going to state and individual things, so we take the athletes and find the event that they're best at. If we can find a relay or a team setting for them, that's what we do. Other than that, we look for what they're best in and go compete in that where they can have the most success.
Do you have anything that you want your students to do, like preseason, workout, anything?
Well, like football, we work out year-round, so unless they're in another sport, and we still try to get them in strength class, and they still keep a level of fitness, hopefully year-round. So, yes.
In cheer, you can expect to cheer sideline for football, basketball, and wrestling, and we do competition. We do game day competition, and we are looking to go back to traditional competition as well. I expect my athletes to always have a good attitude, try really hard, and try new skills that are even difficult and not give up. As a cheerleader, you can expect me to be one of your biggest encouragers, somebody that's going to give you critiques. And you can also expect, if I say last time, I mean probably 2 more times at least.
I'm Coach Mays. I coach boys basketball and fast pitch softball. In basketball and softball, I expect you to work hard. I expect, like I said, we do summertime stuff. We play in leagues in basketball and softball. We work throughout the summer. I expect us to be here every day. I expect students to work hard, show up, be accountable, do the stuff that we need to do to get better, whatever that is. For the student part, for most of it is, like I said, we're going to have a good time, but we're going to work hard. I expect, like I said, accountability, to be here, to be on time, and to work hard, and to, to have fun, because when we have fun, it's easy. It's easy to play loose, play well, and I'm probably more of a player's coach. I expect the student to do good things and to work hard. Then the game part's easy if we practice hard and do what we're supposed to.
I'm John Brockman, the head baseball coach at Vian. This is my 26th year at Vian. What I expect in my program from my players, I expect them to have a great attitude, give max effort, to be on time, and to get better every day. We want to strive to get better every day when we do anything, whether it's a game or practice, to get better every day. I'm hoping by some of these qualities that they develop, some of these qualities that will help them later in life be productive citizens and have good families. Of course, our ultimate goal is to be a state champion. We try to strive toward that every year. We haven't achieved that goal. We've been close, but that of course is our ultimate goal, like it is.
What elective do you teach?
Wrestling.
What do you expect your students to learn?
There's a lot of things I expect students to learn. One of them being learn how to be a winner, learn to overcome adversity, learning personal health habits that you can carry on through the rest of your personal life, learn to be productive through good and bad situations. Wrestling really does a number on your mental health and your mental toughness and strength, and I think that you can come out of it being stronger than you were before in all aspects.
What do your athletes expect from you?
I hope they expect consistency, being on time, pushing them to be the best they can be,